Hi everyone, hope you're doing fine. Today we will cover together the functions in C# Unity. So let's begin. So first create a C# script and name it whatever you want, but I will name it functions. And I will double click in order to open it. So take into consideration that Unity has some built-in functions such as start, awake, update, on UI, or there are plenty. So we will not cover these things today, but we will cover how to create functions. So let's begin. We have two kind of functions. One of them returns something, and another one doesn't return. It just shows the result or for some other purposes. We will use some examples in order to see how you can use these functions. So we will start with the one that doesn't return anything. In order to create this type of functions such as void, such as update and start, which are this type, we should also write void and name it. Let's say that we want to add two numbers, and we want this function to add these two numbers and then print it in our console. So I will name it adding, and I will say, let's say int and like for example num1 and num2 and open the bracket and close. So let's see. The void means that this function doesn't return any variable to us, but it is going to take two parameters. When you write this here, you can leave it empty. It doesn't give you any error, but if you wanted to take some parameters in order to do some calculations, you can mention it inside here. So let's first leave it empty. In order for our function to work and see if it works, we can say that this function works. And in order for a function to work and show this log, you need to call it inside an update or start or awake function. So we will keep it in a start, and we will say adding, and we will just close it because it doesn't take any parameter, as you can see. Save the script, go back to Unity, and create a empty game object and name it manager. Then drag this here. I will remove this one. Okay. Connect this to your manager, to your empty game object. You can come here and create an empty game object from here. And let's run it. So when you run and go back to console, this function works. So you see how this function works. So you can write it many times, and it will print this text twice, string twice in your console. So let's remove it and come back here, and let's say that we want this adding to take two integers. We can say int num1 and int num2. So first you need to write the type of the variable and then the name of the variable, and then you can come inside function and say that let's say int result, and the result should be num1 plus num2 and semicolon, and clean this text and print result. And again, you need to call this function inside the start or inside the update. So we will call it here adding two numbers. So I want number 10 and number 20 to be added, and I want another one to be like 20 and 33 to add these two. So the first should be 30 and the second one should be 53. So let's go back to Unity and run the game. Go to console and you can see 30 and 53. Another way to like do this, you can have two other integers like my int 1 and my int 2, and you can say that my int 1 is 1 and my int 2 is 2, and here you can say my int 1 to be instead of num1 and my int 2 to be instead of num2. So the result should be 3, as you know, but we can just test it to make sure function works, and yes, 3. So let's say that you want this adding to take like 2 numbers, 3 numbers or more. You can have several functions with the same name. So you can like copy and paste it again here, and again copy paste it here, and let's say we want the first one to take just one parameter, the second one 2, and the third one int num3. And let's say that the first one you add it to 2, and the second one you add together, and the third one you add num3. So 3 numbers together. So when you come back here, you can say that you want the first one to add 10 to 2, so you can keep 1, but let's delete it and write it from the beginning. Adding, you can see adding, and if you go on adding while you're writing it, you can see here that it returns that this is the first of 3 functions. The first one takes just one parameter. If you use your arrow keys left and right in your keyboard, you can go through all the functions with the same name. So as you can see, the first one takes 1 integer, the second one takes 2 integer, and the third one takes 3 integer. And if you just use this, you can say the first one to be 10, and you can use the second one 10, 10, and the third one to be 10, 2, 3. So the first one should be 12, the second one should be 20, and the third one should be 15. So let's save it and go back to Unity, run the game, come here, as is 12, 20, 15. So let's go back and delete all these functions and remove these ones, and let's say we want to create a type of function which returns something. In order for it to return something, we can say that, let's say that we want it to return an integer to us. So we can not integer, sorry, but character. Okay, instead of void you can write char and then the name. So we can say that, for example, not char, but let's say float, yes, float numbers, and let's say it will just divide two numbers and return the number to us, the float number. So we can say divide, yes, and open the bracket and close it. And inside the function we can give two parameters. Let's say we can give 9 divided by, sorry, not 9, int, sorry for confusion, but int num1, int num2. And here we can say return. We write this return word because we have these float here. We don't have void, so in the end of the function it should return a floating number, and we can say num1 divided by num2 and semicolon, and then write this function here and call it divide. Let's go back and write it again, divide. There's just one function with the name divide and takes two parameters. So the first one can be 9 and the second one can be 2, since we wanted to return floating number. Okay, let's change this to float also. Float, okay. So we can have both float numbers and integers in this division function. Save it, save the script, go back to Unity, go to console and run the game. Go to console again. Okay, yeah, we forgot to write the debug. So we can say debug why, let me see, debug dot log, yeah, write this, delete the semicolon, cut it and paste the function inside this log, save the script, go back to Unity, run the game, and yeah, let's go here, yeah, 4.5. So this is how a function can return value to us. Thanks for watching, bye.